Okay, back with problem number 3. High interest rates make it difficult for people to pay off credit card debt in a reasonable period of time, which is great for the credit card companies because their goal is to take all of your money, and that helps them do that. So the interest in dollars paid on a $10,000 debt over 3 years when the interest rate is R% can be approximated by the equation that is listed right there. And nobody wants to do that by hand, so of course we're going to use Wolfram. The credit card interest is 19.8%. Find the amount of interest paid during the 3 years. Now, one thing I do want to draw attention to as we're doing this one, folks, I'm not going to be changing this 19.8 to 0.198 like a decimal because R is already factored here as a percent. And so that's kind of a tricky, weird thing, and I'll never do that to you on an exam or something like that, but we are not going to convert this to 0.198. We are going to leave it as 19.8 in this instance. And so I'm going to go ahead and copy the formula the way that it shows it there, folks. It's got I over 175.393 plus 0.663 equals R. And so we know the interest rate to be 19.8%, so we are going to be replacing R with 19.8, which is awesome. That's a pretty high interest rate. So let's check out how much this person is going to pay over 3 years to pay off their $10,000 credit card debt. And so what we've got is I over 175.393, oops, not equal to, plus 0.663 is equal to 19.8. Okay, let's go ahead and swing that into Wolfram, and we will see what we come up with. So for Wolfram here, again, we have, and I'm not going, Wolfram sometimes trips out if I use the letter I because I also means an imaginary number in some instances, and so I'm going to replace I with X, just so Wolfram doesn't trip out, plus 0.663 equals 19.8. And so just as we see it in our equation, we're going to give it to Wolfram. Again, I will usually replace I with X because in math terms, I means imaginary number or the square root of -1. And so anyways, we're going to go ahead and down here and find the solution. We've got a solution of X, which for us is I. I is equal to $3,356.50. And you'll notice I didn't leave it as a 0.5 like Wolfram has it because we're talking about money, so I'll always go to the tens place. And so the explanation for this one, over 3 years, the person will pay $3,356.50 in interest. So to borrow $10,000 costs them $13,356.50. This is just the beginning of our conversation in regards to being careful with credit and how much money you choose to borrow and how long of a period of time you take to pay it back, because owing money and being in debt is not fun or cool.